It was hard for them to understand. It was, it was something I had to heal, like I had to go through. And it was hard to watch my family struggle with it. It breaks my heart thinking about it, that they had to see me like that. And I don't know, we've all, and the people who don't get it, I'm grateful for them. I'm so glad that they've never had to be there. So glad that they've never had to walk in anybody's shoes who have been there. And I wouldn't wish it on anyone, but to be able to hold space and understand. And I think a lot of bikers, we ride for wind therapy. We ride for that reason. My bike has kept me alive more times than it could have ever killed me.
September 28th is Ride Out of the Darkness. It is something I'm extremely excited. This is the 4th annual Ride Out of the Darkness. If you're watching this, you probably already know about it because it's just a couple of weeks away. But it's garnered, in the 4 years that they've been doing this Love Surrounds You organization, in the 4 years, it's garnered attention around the nation. And I'm talking about celebrity status notice here. So I'm talking to, in the flesh, Mari with My Turn Moto, and she has been incredible and organizing something that's not been done before. So let me just jump in and say, Mary, how are you doing?
Great. How are you, JD?
I'm doing really well. I want to talk about the travel train. Everybody in Florida knows about September 28th, Right Out of the Darkness, and they know about travel train. Talk to me about how this whole thing started.
So I met Amanda, that cosmic biker chick on TikTok is what she goes by. We became friends on TikTok, and when I found out last year about her story, losing her sister Kristen, and just listening to her, how she talked about the grief that her family carries and she carried, and how she took her grief and has used it to build an amazing, incredible event, a foundation, an event just surrounded by love. For me, it hit home because it was almost somebody who left that grief for their family. And something just told me, like, I really do feel God told me, like, you're going to do this. You're going to organize this. I mean, I would have just done the ride on my own, no problem, but it really just felt like you're going to organize this, and I'm going to send you the others. Don't worry about that. Just organize it. And I called Amanda, and I was leaving for Laconia, and I asked her, I'm like, hey, listen, like, here's what I'm thinking. What do you think? And she's like, right off the bat, Amanda's like, whatever you want to do, you got my blessing. Let's do it. And I thought about it a lot on my trip to Laconia. I prayed on it, and I came back and I was like, I just made a video. I'm like, this is what it's about, and we're all following Amanda. If anybody's in the North Carolina area or you're gonna ride down 95, here's what I'm doing. Come join me. And then I reached out to all the dealerships. I mapped them out that we would stop at because it's a great place to stop for, spread the word, community involvement, hotels, food, gas stops. I just started working out all the logistics, and every dealership I called was like, yes, we're in. We want to be a part of this. Like, I didn't know. I didn't know if I was going to have 3 people, 30 people, 300 people. I didn't know if it was just going to be me. Like, I didn't know. And it just felt like you build it and they will come.
That's awesome. Let's play catch up for a second, because we hear the name Travel Train, and a lot of people down here in Florida where I am. Let's clear this up real quick. I'm in Florida, near Lakeland, Florida, where Ride Out of the Darkness is going to be. You are in North Carolina. You work for a dealership there. The Travel Train is what exactly?
So the travel train is just a group of riders. We're leaving. The original theory was we leave out of Raleigh, where I live. If you wanted to come meet me in Raleigh. And it's just a train of bikers that just travel down to Florida to be a part of this event. My idea was to just people. I was hoping I'd get people who are great at long distance riding. I was hoping I'd get people who never done it before. I was hoping to get new riders, experienced riders, just kind of bring that biker community back. Let's just enjoy the ride. It's not about how good of a rider you are or how, experienced you are. It was just a community.
So you're talking about meeting you in North Carolina. Now, when you're saying meeting you in North Carolina, you don't mean like locals meeting you. There's people from other states, like many other states, right?
Yeah, last year I had gotten a message and it said Maine is coming, and I was like, and the person at the time, like I looked it up, he had like 8 followers. I was like, okay, like I didn't, I was like, all right, and sure enough, Shane from Maine rode from his Sportster from Maine to North Carolina to be a part of this, and it was incredible. You know, I had people from Missouri, I had people from Tennessee, South Carolina, North Carolina, Georgia, Texas. We had 2 riders from Texas. Like it was just I never thought like I had no clue. No clue.
So how? So you started this last year, but you highly organized it more this year. And when I say organized, how many people? Not how many people. Let's let that be a surprise. How many states are do you think are coming to meet you in North Carolina?
So I think we left off at about 36 is where we're at. We kind of stopped counting
Wait.
states.
You're telling me 36 states are coming to North Carolina to meet you and spend time with you and come down to Florida. That's another 800 miles or 6 to 800 miles. You're telling me there's at least 36 states coming for this
Yeah,
travel
I
train?
think that's about where we're at. We did have like we lost maybe 3 states. I mean, it's hard because you commit in January.
Sure.
Lots happen between January and September. I mean, careers, families, whatever it is, financial times. And that happens, you know, and we just I don't know, like with the committee and I we were talking about it. We were just we just been focusing on the people where this meant something to them. They lost family members or friends or
Mm.
they've battled with themselves, but it's about 30, 35, 36 states.
Wow. I like how you say it like it's no big deal. Just 36 states. You know, we only have like 50 of those, right?
I know. Well, I think the big like that you know, I'm really grateful that a lot of larger creators jumped aboard, you know, and I mean, people that it meant something to, like Mickey Knuckles is in California. He's coming. Patch from Knucklehead Adventures, you know, he's battled and he's lost his best friend.
Yeah.
So, and it didn't matter how who you were or what you were, or what your followers were. It was, did this mission mean something to you? And we kept the people that were the mission meant something to them. That's who we found.
Mm. Now, speaking of mission, I want to talk about like how you're gonna take all of these bikes and come down into Florida. But speaking of mission, this resonated with you, right? You were dealing, you used to, or were dealing with things in your own life, and this really resonated.
Yeah, it did. And I was once very suicidal and depressed, and it's very hard to find even people who love you. I mean, I know love me. It was hard for them to understand. It was, you know, it was something I had to heal, like I had to go through. And it was hard to watch my family struggle with it. It breaks my heart thinking about it that they had to see me like that. And I don't know, we've all, and you know, and the people who don't get it, I'm grateful for them. I'm so glad that they've never had to be there. So glad that they've never had to walk in anybody's shoes who have been there. And I wouldn't wish it on anyone, you know, but to be able to hold space and understand, and I think a lot of bikers, we ride for wind therapy, you know, we ride for that reason. It's my bike has kept me alive more times than it could have ever killed me. And it meant a lot to me to if somebody I looked at it as if somebody wanted to go to Ride Out of the Darkness, and if the only thing holding them back from going was they didn't want to ride alone, they could ride
Mm.
with me.
Wow. And maybe another time, I really want to dig into this. But the interesting thing is, I see you on TikTok and I see your thousands and thousands and thousands of followers, and I see the smile that's on your face all the time. And you're clearly a beautiful lady. We have at Lakeland Harley, Randa. She's a beautiful woman, and it looks like she's got her act together. You look like you got your act together, but really, you don't know who is struggling and who is suffering. Sometimes we just the best we can do is to put on a mask, and it's an exemplification of that. And I do want to talk with you more about that if you and I get the chance
Yeah.
to talk more. But it's just I can look at you and go, no, this chick's got her act together. But that's not always true, right?
No, I mean, I have my dark days. I mean, I do. I'm human. I'm not, I mean, we all have ups and downs. I focused my TikTok, my channel has been mostly telling the stories from the road of the people I met, just random strangers riding my motorcycle who came into my life, and I started journaling on them. And each person, random people at the randomest times came into my life and they shared their story with me. And each person has healed me. People
Wow.
some of them I still talk to, some of them just were passing whatever I saw, and because I think that's what we do. If we share our stories, we can heal each other. You don't feel so alone.
Yeah, yeah, you don't feel alone. That's very well said. And I was talking with someone earlier today. What does a whole bunch of bikers riding across the country have to do with mental health awareness? Well, the truth is, it's remembering, it's letting each other know, one another know that you're not alone in the stuff that you're dealing with, and you'd be surprised at who's dealing with things too. So the very sense of community that a biker lifestyle brings is really awesome.
Yeah, it's not any one of us. It's all of us. It's all of us. And this is what I say to everybody. I've submitted in my emails, my communications. The first and foremost, the travel train is about safety. My job is to help get everybody there safely. Yeah, could I whip this ride out in a day? Absolutely, I could, but not everybody could. And then by having the stops at all the dealerships, you're building a bond. People can interact together, a
Yeah.
little bit more, meet people. But it was to find somebody who wanted to go that wouldn't have gone unless somebody went with them.
That's great. Now let's get to a few other things. What do you ride? What is your daily rider right now?
I just recently purchased the 2024 CVOST and I love it.
Oh, that thing is a monster. Now I know it's fast. It's ridiculously fast. I think it's a 121, and it's got the well, you know what? You're the professional, but it's super fast. What I don't know though is it comfortable for a long haul?
Well, I just wrote it. I bought it, and literally like 3.5, 4 weeks later, I rode it to Sturgis from North Carolina and back. I was like, I quick did whatever little parts that I could do to make it like it's mimicked off the King of the Baggers bike, right?
Hmm.
But I went through this like little phase, and a lot of not even a little. I realized from working at a dealership, I learned a lot more about motorcycles than I did, and I was gonna just go with the Road Glide. And I don't know. Once I started getting do the brand ambassadorship with Harley, so I get to ride all the bikes, go to all the rallies, and I got on the CVOST, and I knew I was buying that bike.
That's yours.
Yeah, this was. I just had to figure out a color.
Well, I went with the 24 Road Glide in the it's called Whiskey Fire, right? That orangish color.
Yes,
And I
yes,
put
I
and I
love
put
that color.
the I went ahead and brought it to a stage two, which is still nowhere near as fast as yours. But then I put the Rossford Fosgate stage two plus or stage three, like the
Yes.
best, and it's a whole lot of fun. I know this meeting is not talking about Harley and how cool
No,
the,
this
the
is it.
bikes are, but this is it's really cool. So how are you going to manage? Like, what's the like just generally speaking, how in the heck are you going to get everybody down from North Carolina into Lakeland, Florida at the Sun and Fun Center? How are you going to make that train? What's your strategy to keep everybody alive?
An incredible team, committed volunteers to help me. I have an incredible, so grateful. I really do believe God sends you the helpers, and He sent me some of the best of the best. And I can't, like last year, I did do it alone, and people rose up to the occasion to help me. But I really this year I put a call out for help, and I have a lot of people that I have ridden with, a lot of them that I just know personally, and they're showing up and they're helping me.
I don't know what to say. I'm really excited. I will be joining you in North Carolina. I'm making that 600, 700-mile trip to you and then turning around and coming right back with you. Mari, plug your TikTok channel for us really quick. If I know there's people that want to tune in and check you out on TikTok.
Yeah, and we are going to be going live on the travel train. If I could just add that, we're figuring out how to do it from Knucklehead Adventures page. So we're going to probably do it off his YouTube because it'll get banned if we try to do it on TikTok. But if you follow Knucklehead Adventures on YouTube and his socials as well, we'll be live on there, so you could watch other riders that are on the train. If somebody in your family's on it, you can watch it there. And you can hear our banter because there is banter. It's kind of fun. But my channel is My Turn Moto. It's my_turn_moto. My Facebook is My Turn, one word, and then Moto, and so is my Instagram. But my plan is to really promote the dealerships. I cannot just, if you don't mind me saying it, these dealerships are feeding everybody. They've given us raffles and giveaways, and they're keeping us hydrated. They have committed to service if we need service. So Tobacco Road Harley Davidson on Wednesday night, we're gonna have the pre-party there. We're gonna do the kickoff there, ride from there on Thursday. They're also giving us a chase truck and trailer, like great. Blackjack Harley Davidson, yeah, like they're sending a whole chase truck and trailer to follow us down. Blackjack Harley Davidson will be our first stop, which is in Florence, South Carolina. Then Savannah, we're having an incredible lunch there. Kudos to them. Savannah Harley Davidson will wrap up the day. That'll be our last stop. We'll spend the night in Savannah. So we'll do dinner there. We have a hotel group reservation. Get up the next morning. We hit Adamak Harley Davidson in Orange Park, Florida. They have breakfast and giveaways. So awesome. We then dip off 95 and we go through the Ocala Forest and we hit Gator Harley Davidson, which is an incredible lunch. Jan and her team puts on a huge spread for us. And then we continue on to Lakeland Harley Davidson. Rhonda, has been amazing. We're having a huge welcome party there. And I will tell you, JD, I hate to expose this, but there is literally not a dry eye when we pull into Lakeland. There's a sense of community, there's a sense of relief we did it, gratitude, the amount of love that people just in the community showed up last year. All of us on the travel train, we were all crying. Like, we did it. We got all these people here. And so Lakeland Harley Davidson is going to host a nice after party. So without these dealerships and the helpers that are helping me, it would not happen.
You know, people think that motorcycle dealerships, or Harley specifically, people can tend to think that you just go in there and buy a bike and be done. But Harley, and what I can say that I know, you know, I've visited probably 20 or 30 Harley dealerships, not probably as many as you have. Lakeland Harley is my home base, and I love the people at Lakeland Harley. I want to take a tour of your Tobacco Road when I get there. I'd love for you to
Yes.
show me around. But they're not just a place that's selling metal and motors.
No. I mean, I don't think people realize how much dealerships give back to the community. I mean, anytime there's a biker fund or the children's fund or the Christmas or, I mean, we get people daily coming in asking for, stuff that they can raffle off or give away or host an event at our dealership. And there is a huge amount that goes into, running a dealership. Or, I mean, a lot of people just look at the price of the motorcycle and they think a stigma, like whatever the word dealership, whatever they call it. I don't think they stop and think about how much is done into the community and that funds somewhere, and the amount of manpower. Like, if you want to have a ride, I mean, just even Tobacco Road, right? Like, we're doing the pre-party. I mean, we have employees that are helping set everything up. We have an employee that's driving a chase truck to Florida and back. Like, that's what dealerships do. I hope more are doing it. It's hard. It costs money, but when you are committed to helping something you're passionate about, I mean, I'm very grateful My general manager is, I come up with some really crazy ideas, and I really do. And Mark Hendricks is my general manager, and he's been 100% supportive of every adventure I've gone on or pitched to him.
Yeah, yeah. Well, look, last words here. The really cool thing is that we can go out and we can have fun and we can celebrate and we can remind people that they're not alone. But look, mental health is it's a real deal. It's not just a feeling. It's sometimes it just encapsulates everything. And what I really like about you, Mari, and what I appreciate about you, and by extension, all of the teams, just Amanda is just so thoughtful with this whole process. But what I appreciate is you don't have to let this sit in the darkness. That's the whole idea, ride out of the darkness. And what are your last words? What would you, if someone was sitting in front of you right now and said, "Don't think I want to exist anymore," what would you say to them?
Matt is in you. It really, I know Amanda is definitely the love surrounds you, but I think a lot of it is the love within you. You matter. Which what you put out into the world, it's who you are. And there is love out there. It is out there, and it's hard to find, but I learned myself that I had to figure out the love within me. And that's where you go. I mean, it's kind of what I've learned. When you love yourself, everything else just really falls into place.
Yeah, that's good. Mari, thank you for the privilege of your time, and we'll connect again. I feel like we're going to touch base a whole lot. I look forward to riding with you.
I can't wait to meet you in person. I can't wait to show you North Carolina, and we're going to have a great time. I just encourage people to sign up and come with us. You're going to have the time, the energy you bring, and you're going to have a great time.
Right Out of the Darkness, September the 28th. Travel Train starting the 24th, I think, and
Yeah.
coming down. There's a lot going on. So thanks again, Mari. We will connect real soon.
All right. See you soon.